Hey everyone, welcome to another Spotty Dog battle report. Dwarven holds against Dread Elves. Myself with Dwarves and James Wroot making a long-awaited reappearance on the channel with his Dread Elves. Let's get to the list. Okay, so start with Wroots Dread Elves, Dread Prince, Crimson Mail, Divine Icon, Headsman's Axe, Lucky Charm, reasonable build, Exalted Oracle level 4 on Heavens, Book of Arcane Power, Obsidian Nullstone for Magic Res. She comes with Blizzard, Wind Blast, Curse of the Westerlies, and Call of the Comet. Captain BSB, Gem of Dragonfire for a 2-up ward against fire, Hardened Shield, Heavy Armor for a 1-up save, Ogre Sword, mounted on a chariot with a crossbow. Oracle, Dispel Scroll, level 1 fire with Fireball. For his core, he's got 3 units of Dark Riders, just naked, 3 units of Repeater Auxiliaries, one with shields, all of them with standards. Special, Altar of Nab for 200 points. Raptor Chariot, 27 Tower Guard, full command, a cheeky Beastbane Halberd on the champion, a Banner of Blood, I think that allows him to reroll 1s and 2s to wound in combat, and then 3 Dread Reapers with the upgrade for multiple shots. Let's go to my list. Okay, so changed it up since Leeds, going for something completely different. So for Lords, I've got, 3 Master Engineers. The first one, the Army General with Forge, Repeater and Great Weapon. He's going to be going in the Forge Wardens. Another one who's a little bit more tooled up, again with Forge Repeater, 2 Runes of Iron for a 2+ save, Rune of Kinship so he can either scout or ambush with a great weapon. He's going to be going in my Rangers. Another Master Engineer with Forge Repeater. This guy's a bit more killy, so 2 times Rune of Fury, that gives you an extra 2 attacks, and 1 Rune of Might, ups his strength by 1, so he's rocking 4 attacks at strength 5. Rune of Kinship again, because he's going to be going in the Miners. Rune of the Forge for a 2-up ward against fire, because I couldn't take just Kinship on its own, as it had been a duplicate of the second Master Engineer, so 5 points for Rune of the Forge, and a shield, so he's rocking a 3+ save. Heroes, got a Thane BSB with my usual build, it's pretty solid. Rune of Mountains and Resistance, so toughness 6, then forcing your opponent to reroll successful to wounds. Then a Great Weapon, Runic Smith with Rune of Denial, which is just a Dispel Scroll, Rune of Iron for an extra save, and a shield, so he's got a 2+ save. 2 spells he had was Gleaming and Resilience, so Gleaming -1 to hit, so hard target distracting, and Resilience is -1 to wound. And then a Naked Dragon Seeker, trying him out for a bit of chaff. For core, I've got 20 Clan Marksmen, full command, Guild-crafted guns. They make every list out right now. Another little unit of Clan Marksmen, no command. Then 22 Clan Warriors, full command, shields, throwing axes. That'll be a bunker for my BSB and my Smith. 19 Forge Wardens, full command, Banner of Speed. I haven't really used these guys, so I wanted to see what they would, see if they'd be okay. 19 Miners, full command, shields, pistols. They're my ambushes. The Steam Bomber, I haven't used that before, so I thought I'd give it a whirl. Steam Copter, just a normal attack copter. Then in rare, we've got 9 Skirmishing Rangers with a champion, crossbows, throwing axes, and shields. So see how they go. And a couple of Vengeance Seekers to finish rare. So yeah, it's a bit different. Let's go to deployment. Okay, so we rolled up table sides. Wroot picked the side there because it had a hill slap bang in the middle, which was fortunate. I then, I didn't know at the time, but I asked him to deploy unit first because he had more drops, and he went ahead and just chucked everything down. Playing Battle Line and Breakthrough, so let's go through his list. He's got a Dread Reaper at the back, some Repeater Auxiliaries, that's his BSB on Chariot, and he's got 2 units of 5 Dark Riders. Then we'll go to the middle, where he has 10 auxiliaries out front, his big Tower Guard unit with level 4 Oracle, level 1 Oracle and Dread Prince, then 2 Reapers at the back, another Raptor Chariot, his Altar of Nab, 5 more Dark Riders, then 10 Repeater Auxiliaries all the way over on his right flank. Okay, so then I went ahead and put all of mine down. Those Rangers have scouted, but that's where they went. They're on Repeater Auxiliary Overwatch. They're deployed behind, there's like a tower there, they're deployed behind the tower so the bolt thrower can't see them, but the Rangers can see the auxiliaries, because Wroot was just going to try ahead and just dash them down. the side to claim the objective. So if they're on Overwatch, then we've got the attack copter, a Vengeance Seeker. Then next to the Vengeance Seeker in the centre, we've got 19 Forge Wardens with Master Engineer, then 20 Guild Gunners. That piece of terrain in the middle is a swamp, so I wasn't too keen on deploying something in there. Then we've got the Bunker of Clan Warriors with BSB and Runic Smith, throwing weapons and shields, full command. Next to those guys, we've got another Vengeance Seeker. Then we've got some Ruins, the Steam Bomber, the Dragon Seeker, and the 12 Gunners, also on Auxiliary Overwatch. Then we've got a Vanguards. Because I finished deploying last, I Vanguard the Dragon Seeker up. That's actually a forest, I think, that piece of carpet. Then he brings his Dark Riders to try and mitigate the Seeker. So we've got a Dark Elf turn 1. He moves the auxiliaries up so the tower guard can come off the hill, giving the bolt throwers line of sight, basically. Other things, I don't know if he really moves much. Let's have a look. He doesn't appear to have moved anything. So then we go to the magic phase, and he casts Comet, puts it where that plectrum is. I can't remember if I let it go. I think I tried to dispel it, but failed. It went off. It wasn't a big cast, so it comes down in a random turn on a 3+, I think, maybe a 4+. So yeah, it goes there. And then he tries to cast Fireball from his level 1 on my guild crafted gunners in the centre, misfires and kills 8 tower guard, and puts a wound on his oracle as well. And he didn't put any wounds on the guild crafted gunners, which was even better. Over here, the shooting phase, let's have a look. His bolt thrower pops off 2 Forge Wardens. His other 2 bolt throwers take off 2 guild crafted gunners. The auxiliaries have a go at my gunners. Sorry, at my Dragon Seeker, but either miss or don't wound. And that's just an overview of his army not moving. Yep, and his right flank there, his Dark Riders haven't moved at all. So we've got a Dwarven Holds turn 1. The Rangers march 9 inches, and they're going to launch some throwing axes, and the Forge Repeater and the Engineers are going to have a go at the auxiliaries. Copter comes up for some aerial support, also to target the auxiliaries. Vengeance Seeker moves up to try and intercept his BSB. The Wardens move up, looks like 4 inches maybe, or maybe they've marched. I'm not sure, but they've moved up to try and get a shooting phase, whether it be this turn or next turn. Gunners don't move because his chariot actually in his previous turn moved up, so the chariot's in range. Also, the auxiliaries in the centre are in range, so the gunners have got a choice of targets. The dwarf warriors just move up a wheel of touch to try and look at least slightly threatening. Dragon Seeker moves up, so he's got a choice of targets between auxiliaries or Dark Riders, and the Steam Bomber moves up in support. I think the gunners on the left move up 3 inches as well, so they can at least have a shot at the auxiliaries. -2 for moving and shooting, but hey. So we go to shooting, and these guys have a crack at the auxiliary, and they kill 1. They were hitting on 7, so I wasn't too optimistic, but yeah, they kill 1. The gunners in the centre, these are guild crafted guys, the ones with +1. They have a go at his chariot, but they failed to put any wounds on, which I'm a little bit disappointed about. The Rangers and the Copter open up on the auxiliaries and kill 7 of them, so there's only 3 left. Yeah, these Rangers are pretty good at taking out low toughness, low armor save troops. That's just an overshot. Yeah, the Forge Wardens must have marched because they didn't get to shoot this turn. And the left flank there. So Dread Elves turn 2. He puts one of his Dark Riders, or whatever they're called now, in front of my Vengeance Seeker. He's chaffing up my chaff. I'm not quite sure he realised at this stage just how effective these Vengeance Seekers are. He was also trying to encouraged me to charge him in the flank with my Forge Wardens, but again, what he doesn't realise is I can just reform and move 4 inches past them. But yeah, that's what he did anyway. His 3 remaining auxiliaries move up straight in front of my rangers, but again, yeah, we'll see what happens there. His BSB moves up, and so do his Dark Riders. His centre moves up and pivots to face my marksmen and my clan warriors. Better shot there of his centre. And these guys still haven't moved. I'm not quite sure what he's doing over here really. Maybe he's forgotten about them. So Dark Elf magic. This, I believe, is the comet coming down. Yeah, this is the comet coming down. So the comet explodes and kills 7 Forge Wardens. Yeah, the reason it's got 2 tokens on it is because in my magic phase it didn't come down, because it comes down in basically it can come down in both magic phases, mine, his and mine, so his opponent's. It didn't, so it gathered another token, meaning it comes down at strength 4 plus 2 tokens, so strength 6, doing the radius of the impact is 2d6 plus 2 inches, because 2 tokens again. And yeah, he's just blasted off 7 Forge Wardens and 16 Gunners. He rolled double 6 for the amount of hits on the Gunners. It's 2d6 plus 2, because there's 2 things on it, and rolls, so he gets 14 and kills 14. So yeah, that's not really very good, is it? Leaving 6 of the boys behind. They don't panic. Well, they do, but they have a reroll from the BSB and they stick around, luckily. Go to shooting. His auxiliaries to kill my Dragon Seeker. And these 2 boys have a go at the Guild-crafted Gunners, I think. Let's see. Yep, they kill another one. And it's just an overshot of over here. Down his centre again. So Dwarven holds turn 2. The Vengeance Seeker slams into the Dark Riders. The Rangers just, well, they're skirmishers. They just move straight past the auxiliaries, looking, because at this point I forget his BSB's wearing the Dragonfire gem. So my thinking behind this was move the Rangers past the auxiliaries, get some throwing axes and Forge Repeaters on the Dark Riders, clear those out of the way, so the Forge Wardens have got a clear shot at his BSB. I'm thinking I can just take that BSB out, or at least really cripple him, so he has to think twice about charging. Forgot he had the dragon hat on. Anyway, we'll see what happens. The attack copter moves up top right there to get ready to charge the bolt thrower next turn. And the centre just sticks around. I think, well, the Vengeance Seeker's moved up to, but I put him in a really bad position there. He's in front of the Clan Warriors. I don't know. I clearly wasn't thinking. I had a few beers at this point. It wasn't on my best. So he kind of moves in front of the Clan Warriors, but I didn't realise that Altar of Nab was moving 8. So that's an easy charge for the Altar of Nab next turn. Into the Seekers, and yeah, should have just moved the Dwarf Warriors back a little bit. The Bomber top left has moved to bomb the Dark Riders up there, and you can see at the back the Miners have come on the board. Yeah, just a picture of the left here, the Bomber hopping over the Dark Riders, and there's a picture of the Miners coming on in my turn too, which is good on a 3+. So Dwarven hold shooting, yeah, the throwing axes and Forge Repeater take off the Dark Riders, as I thought they would. And then the Forge Wardens and the Engineer open up on his BSB, do a load of wounds to him. I get 4 or 5 through, and I'm thinking, oh, it's just a 4+ ward, nick a couple through. And that's when he says he's got the dragon hat. He did tell me before the game had started, and I'd just forgotten. So then I think, shit. I might be in a little bit of trouble here, but I do nick 1 wound through anyway. He did roll 1, so a little bit of a bonus, I guess. These gunners have a go at his auxiliaries, I think. Yep, they kill 3, so they're called marksmen for a reason. 6 of them, they kill 3. Go boys, that's why they're in the list. The bomber hops over the riders, kills 5 of them. The miners and the engineer there have a go at his tower guard. Only the front rank can fire, and the engineer, but we do 4 wounds. So yeah, I was happy with that. I didn't really know what to expect from these miners, but not a bad little start. So 4 wounds from pistol and forge repeater. I think I probably should have scored more than that, but no, he had the 5+ ward on from the altar actually. So yeah, fair enough. What's happened here? Yep, so combat phase, the Vengeance Seekers ripped up the riders. That he does nothing back to me. And he breaks. I don't catch him. He runs 11, I run 10, which is just too far. Because at this point, I'm hoping that the Seeker will manage to sit in front of the BSB, at least stalling him a turn. But he just goes too far. And yep, ends up sort of out of the way in a pretty useless place there, but that's what happens anyway. Had a bit of a blurry overshot of the field, a bit better shot of the field. So Dread Elves turn 3. Yeah, that's a picture of his altar slamming into my Vengeance Seeker and his Raptor Chariot hitting the unit. So there's going to be a bit of a cascade going on here if the altar can clear up the Vengeance Seeker. And yeah, his BSB comes straight into the Forge Wardens who stand and shoot, but Wroot makes all his 2-up wards this time. The Dark Riders continue to run. The auxiliaries have seeing an opening, have legged it around the back of the terrain, so the Rangers will have to go back there and axe them up, I guess. And his centre just moves up to come and get my severely weakened gunners now. In his magic, what's he trying to do here? He casts Fireball and kills one. He also tried to cast Comet as well in that phase, but learning my lesson, I throw all my dice and dispel it. Hence the reason he got a Fireball off. We got a combat, and between impact hits and 9 attacks from the Witch Elves, he manages to kill my Vengeance Seeker. But I do put a wound on the altar, which you'll see later on in the game is crucial. Yeah, and he overran into the unit with a bit of a cascade. Over here, the unit champion valiantly steps up and challenges his BSB and gets smacked down in the process. But it gives me another turn to try and figure out what the hell to do. And yeah, that's where we are. So unit champion dead, but we're steadfast and we hold. Over here, yep, he does 2, 4, 6, 8 wounds to my unit. I return with a wound on the altar and a wound on the chariot. We're steadfast and we stick, but we need the reroll. Dwarven holds turn 3. These guys, it's a bit of an out of sequence photo. I think I used this photo 3 times in this particular turn. This was at the point where my mates started drinking. They came in and started drinking punch. So it got a little bit. So I got a little bit distracted. But anyway, these guys have turned around, and yeah, they're going to shoot off a bolt thrower in their turn. But in his previous shooting phase, which I missed, his 2 bolt throwers, there's 1 bolt thrower, I beg your pardon, turned and shot off 2 miners. His other bolt thrower in the corner is about to get charged by the attack copter. Missed my attack copter, and that bolt thrower that you can see there tried to fire at the attack copter as well and missed. So attack copter's still alive in the corner. This bomber hops over, again it's out of sequence, he hops over to shoot at the auxiliaries, and yeah, you can see between him and the gunners, they kill a few, but there's another photo showing it. These 4 marksmen, I love these guys, killed 2 more auxiliaries in the shooting. Yeah, as you can guess, magic, there's nothing happening in the Dwarven magic phase. I've taken 2 spells and Root's dispelling it at plus 4 maybe? Yeah, I think he's dispelling it at plus 4 because he's got the book of +1 to dispel, as well as it being a bound spell and a level 2, so I'm just not getting any joy. I think in most instances I'm just not even bothering to cast anything. Yeah, here's the miners rocking up. The engineer actually kills. The miners don't even get a chance to fire. The engineer rolls up 4 hits, and then he's needing 6s to wound, and he rolls 2 6s, finishes off the bolt thrower. The miners didn't even get a chance to fire. Yeah, and here's the bomber and the gunners down in the bottom corner, blowing up. What's that? 6 auxiliaries, but they don't panic. Combat, he mashes my engineer in a challenge, but again we're steadfast. Okay, so over here, right, he must have flubbed really badly, or I've made my parry saves or something, or whatever, and he kills 1 clan warrior, but I do a wound on the chariot and a wound on the altar, have ranks, 2 banners, and basically more wounds, and he's on 4 with no reroll, and or 5 with no reroll, and runs away. I don't pursue, because pursuing them, yeah, it would have actually caught them. I think he didn't roll too great, but it would have put me in the position of a flank charge from the tower guard. I didn't want that, so I just reformed like so. Plus he was running towards the miners, who could just turn around and maybe have a shot at the altar or the chariot, so I just reformed like so. Yeah, in my sort of phase there, I've charged the Vengeance Seeker into the 1 remaining Dark Rider who's run off the board. The Attack Copter has charged the Bolt Thrower at the top, and he's killed it. And the Rangers at the bottom there have turned around and axed those 3 guys to death. So we got a Dark Elves turn 4. His altar doesn't his altar and his chariot do rally. But prior to that, his tower guard slam into my warriors, and yeah, like I said, his altar and chariot have rallied. His auxiliaries have gone into my gunners at the bottom as well. Standard shoot kills 2 on the way in though. And yep, here's a picture of that. And his magic phase, he gets blizzard off on the tower guard. Combat, yeah, he's killed another 3-4 Dwarvens there. I do a wound back, but I lose, but we stick. Here he kills a gunner, and these gunners kill another 2 auxiliaries. I really do love these guys. Right here, okay. Remember at the beginning I said I called it a cheeky Beastbane halberd? Okay, well his champion issues a challenge. My BSB thinking, yeah, I'm pretty tough. T6, you got to reroll to wound me. Accepts the challenge, yeah, and gets knocked out. Yeah, his guy manages to get 1 wound through, and I don't have an armor save against it because it's strength 5 AP. Multiplied into 2, kills my BSB. He then kills 2 dwarves with his tower guard attacks, and his lord just completely flubs. I make a load of parries. I cause 3 wounds back, where we lose. Yep, we lose combat, but we stick on leadership 7, something like that. Thank God for the 5-up parry against shield wall rules. Just a picture of things over here. So Dwarven holds turn 4. Yeah, the copter charges the other bolt thrower. Miners turn to face the altar of Nab. So yeah, magic, nothing happens again because reasons. So we go to shooting. The engineer and the miners pop off the altar, kill it, doing the final 2 wounds. Combat, these boys finish off the 1 remaining auxiliary, and the BSB finally breaks the 4 Dwarves, who put up a valiant fight there. But we get away, and he's about 2 or 3 inches behind. He breaks me over here again. His champion chops up this time my runic smith with the damn Beastbane halberd. So he's currently on about 300 points. This guy of kills. His lord is doing absolutely nothing, by the way. He killed 2 this term to finally get his armor save down to or up to 3+ rather. As you can see, the gunners there have finished off the have turned around to face the tower guard who are coming, and the bomber up top has basically jumped over that unit of auxiliaries and bombed them to death. The copter at the top has put a wound on the bolt thrower, but he holds. Dark Elf turn 5, he charges my Forge Wardens with his BSB and does a post combat pivot because he manages to catch them, obviously runs them down, and then faces my Rangers like so. He attempts to charge his in his magic phase he gets the big comet off and puts it right in the middle of my Rangers over on the right hand side. Because it's a big comet, he can choose which magic phase it comes down in, so we'll see when he decides to do that. In his turn, it looks like he's tried to charge my, this is a bit of a sort of out of sequence photo, but in his turn he's actually tried to charge my gunners, failed the charge. We've done a stand and shoot, and caused a wound. So Dwarven holds turn 5. Everybody's trying to, so the miners have moved up, so the engineers within 18 inches to get some forge repeater action on him. The two helicopters come up, so their guns are in range of the chariot as well, just to try and save the marksman from a charge, basically. There's a picture of where the comet was placed. My Vengeance Seeker's moved there because I'm thinking he might chuck his, last turn he might have chucked his chariot, his BSB into the Rangers, so he's kind of looking there, ready for a sort of a rear charge on the chariot if he does come in. That's why the Vengeance Seeker's just like that. But yeah, the plectrum is where the comet's going to happen, and yep, it comes down now and nukes 4 of them, panicking them, making them run away. So I was kind of hoping they'd stick around because they could have just crossbowed his BSB and maybe snuck a few, well, maybe a couple of wounds on. Bearing in mind he's only got sort of 2 wounds left now at this stage. So I was hoping, 9 crossbows hitting on, well, 2s with the champion, 3s with the unit, might have been able to sneak a couple of wounds through, but not to be. Cowardly dwarves. So we've got a shooting, and like I said, these guys are trying to save their gunner friends. Between the forge repeater of the engineer, the forge repeater on the attack copter, and the what was the old clatter gun, I can't remember what it's called now, but it's a multi-shot 4, basically a handgun multi-shot 4. They managed to get 2 wounds onto the chariot, so it's up to the gunners to see if they can finish it off. There we are, staring down the barrel, quite literally. Boom. These boys are amazing. Reduced to 6 in his turn 2, and they've killed a unit of auxiliaries and a chariot with just, well, between 6 and 3 of them. I absolutely love them. And yeah, there's just a picture of those Rangers fleeing. So we go to Dread Elves turn 6, and he moves his BSB up to get some, because he's got a repeated crossbow. At this point, he's just trying to get rid of those gunners for points now. Yep, he kills 1. But importantly, we've still got the standard there and the champion. Yeah, I don't have a picture of it, but to the left of these guys, he moves his, this is where his tower guard are, to the left. He moves his level 1 out of the unit because he's going to go for a big fireball. He doesn't want to miscast and blow the unit up. And he's going to cast it onto my little unit of 12 gunners on the flank. He kills like 7 or 8 of them. I can't dispel it, and they flee and run off the goddamn board. So we go to Dwarven Holes turn 6. This is just one of the last photos I took. The bomber moves up, moves over one of the bases, bombs them. Between him, the 2 gunners that have turned round, and the other attack copter, we managed to kill 5 tower guard. You can see there's his wizard moved out of the unit, by the way. Yeah, between those guys all shooting in the bombs, he's left with champion standard the musician. He's actually got them in my deployment zone as well, so I was just hoping to kill enough so that he wasn't. I do get some of the points for the unit, but sadly he is in the deployment zone. And that's the end of the game. My miners, the Rangers have rallied. Brilliant. um, my miners are sat in his deployment zone, and he sat in my deployment zone. We've both lost a hell of a lot of stuff. So let's go to the result and see where we're at. Yeah, so the Dwarves, or rather my losing streak, comes to an end with a valiant 10-10 draw against the Dread Elves. Yeah, that was really brutal. Personal thoughts on the game. I think if Wroot hadn't have got Comet off early and killed 14 gunners, I think I'd have probably won. Those gunners were just blowing stuff up quite literally. I mean, I don't think he'd have even made it across the board. Had those gunners have remained, yeah, I'm pretty sure that tower guard unit just wouldn't have got across. Rangers fleeing to the other Comet didn't really massively affect the game, but it was a bit of a pain. I think I maybe could have shot off his BSB, or at least severely wounded his BSB. Like I said at the time, he was already on 2 wounds, so sneaking another one through, or maybe 2 if I was lucky, has every chance, I suppose. Could have got points for his BSB as well, and yeah, it would have been a solid win for the Dwarves. But as it was, points were shared. There was only like 4 points in it, I think, in his favour actually. But in the book it said draw, so that's what we'll call it, a draw. 10-10. Yeah, thoughts on my list. I think it's good. I think it has potential. I played another game sort of the morning after that one against Patrick's Sylvan Elves. That'll be a bit more of a test because he brings his big thicket star to the game. So we'll see how the list performs against. No offense to Root's list, but see how it performs against more of a power build. And yeah, I've got a battle report of that, so it'll be up after this one. Thanks for watching, guys. If you've got any thoughts on my list, where I can change something, how to make it better, let me know. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon. Bye bye.